You ever follow divine guidance just to end up looking crazy? Like you sure you heard spirit right, but now you're sitting in a space that don't look like a blessing. It looked like rock bottom. This episode is for you, the truth teller, the soul led, the misjudged, because sometimes obedience don't make sense to the world, and you ain't gotta prove that you heard God right. Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to the Powerfully You podcast. I'm your host, Sharitha, spiritual guide, trauma survivor, and soul truth teller. I help emotionally wounded, spiritually curious folks heal from trauma and reclaim their voice so that they can stop people pleasing, start living their truth, and turn their pain into power. Today's episode, we're talking about the moments when following divine guidance doesn't make sense. Not to your family, not to your friends, not even to you. When you're being obedient and still end up broke, judged, evicted, and misunderstood, and the hardest part, not trying to prove to people that you didn't mess up. Let's talk about it. Proving you're good. Since childhood, many of us were conditioned to earn love, to be the one who got it right. Maybe you were the responsible one, the strong one, the fixer. And when you finally started following your soul, listening to spirit, it became a new performance. See, I'm still right. I'm still good. I'm still worthy. But deep down, there is a wound. I'm only safe if I'm seen as good. I'm only worthy if I win and can prove people wrong. I can't. Oh my goodness. I can't afford to be wrong about what I heard from God. So when your spiritual path doesn't look like success, shame creeps in. Not because you don't trust spirit, but because you still feel like you got to defend your alignment to people who don't even know what alignment feels like. Trusting spirit in the middle of the mess. Let's be honest. It's easy to trust spirit when things are working out, when the rent is paid, when the manifestation hits, when the vision unfolds clean. But what about when obedience costs you comfort? What about when spirit says, let go of that house, and you end up sleeping on the couch you used to outgrow? That's the inner war. Part of you says, I trust the divine. The other part says, but what if I got it wrong? And somewhere in between, your ego is screaming. They gonna think you lost everything. They gonna think you're a fool for following God. But guess what? You're not here to be understood. You're here to be aligned. And there is a huge difference. Obedience isn't for optics. The divine didn't call you to perform. You were called to walk in truth. Even when it don't look good, even when it don't make sense, even when they talk. Because the real blessing is not in proving to the people that you heard right. It's in knowing you stay connected to your soul even when everything around you look like a mistake. Let the season strip you of your need to perform. Let it bury the version of you thought you had to look like a spiritual success story in order to be valid. The divine is building your root, not your image. Devil's advocate. But if it was really God, wouldn't everything have worked out? Nope, that's human logic, not divine logic. Sometimes the divine let things fall apart, so the parts of you that were never you can finally be left behind. Sometimes the guidance don't lead you to a mansion, it leads you to a mirror. And sometimes the obedience doesn't get you applause, it gets you peace. Don't confuse the cost of alignment with the absence of divinity. Reflective moment. What part of you still needs others to believe you're spiritually aligned in order to feel safe? What does divine obedience look like without a guaranteed outcome? Where in your life are you still trying to make it make sense when it was only meant to grow your soul? Final soul truth. Not you ain't got to prove that you heard God right. Not to your mama, not to your ex, not to your followers, not even to your own doubt. You heard what you heard. You felt what you felt. And you followed it. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you free. And that's what makes you whole. If this episode cracked something open in you, I see you. You're not crazy. You're not alone. And you're not lost. You're aligning in a way the world ain't ready for. Stay rooted, stay real, and as always, stay powerfully you.